Hi, Ginu, my thoughts for today. And today we're going to be, we'll be talking about something that is really, really frightening. And I am frankly surprised that it's not getting more discussion, that the news is not covering this more, especially regarding events that we've seen recently. One in particular, well, I'm talking about drones today and using drones in warfare. People are talking, well, ever since not too long ago, Ukraine destroyed several planes, Russian planes, bombers, nuclear bombers, their best bombers with drones. And well, people have been talking about, the experts have been talking about how this is changing, how drones are changing warfare. And well, that's, people have talked about how we need to, those planes were on open ground. They were out in the open, parked on a field. We put our planes in hangars. So hopefully that is one. I don't know if we put them all in hangars. I hope we do. But if not, maybe we should. That is one of the problems that we have to solve, that we have to worry about being attacked by, well, just about anybody. You have to remember Ukraine, they didn't invent some kind of long-range drone. They imported them into Russia. They snuck them into Russia and had them delivered to be near all these military sites. Now we have now, fortunately, well, some people are doing something about it. One person who is not doing about it is Katie Hobbs, whose election is sometimes disputed. The current governor, nevertheless, of Arizona, and she actually vetoed a bill passed through obviously both houses of their legislature to forbid Chinese entities from buying farmland near military bases. She actually vetoed that, believe it or not. And well, it shows you just that, besides all this rioting that we're seeing in Los Angeles, that's a separate vlog, but these people riding around burning American flags and waving Mexican flags. And I digress. I'll just note an irony here, because some of the people are justifying it. One person justified, said, well, we are, colonizers. We are colonizers of the United States, so it's okay for all these other immigrants to come in. Well, these immigrants, first of all, coming from all these other countries, they are no more native to the United States. They're not Indians. They're not American Indians. So they are no more native than anybody else. That's number one. Number two, you may have noticed that Mexico, they speak Spanish. That is their language. Well, why is that? Could it be because the country was invaded and colonized by Spaniards? The original, just as the American Indians happened to the American Indians today. Well, actually, I mean, there are American Indians still today. How many in Mexico? How many Aztecs are left? How many Incas are left? But as usual, I digress. So let's just get back on topic. And the topic was drones. I don't know how I got off on it, but anyways, military drones. And I talked about Ukraine attacking planes, but you also have drones being used. The Israelis have been using drones, and I believe against individual soldiers. And that's what I want to talk about. This is the really scary statistic that somebody did a little research, and I'm just going to turn the floor over. Well, sort of. He's not going to speak, but I'm going to read you what he wrote in an X text. I spent over 100 hours compiling and analyzing 5,000 videos of soldiers trying to escape UAV drones, that's unmanned aerial vehicles, pulling material from Telegram, Reddit, and other sources. Here is what I found. There are more videos available, but I had to stop at that stage because of the psychological toll. I wanted to understand what factors affect survival when soldiers are targeted by drones. Here's what the data revealed. A 67% survival rate in obstructed environments, buildings, dense forests. Why? Drones are designed for speed and detonation, not collision avoidance. Many simply smash into walls, doors, windows, or get tangled in branches and detonate before hitting their target. B, 92 92% death rate in open fields. No matter the escape method, running on foot, driving, riding a motorboat, or sitting on top of an armored vehicle, the drones outpace and outmaneuver almost every attempt to flee in open terrain. That is the part that is really scary to me. 90, that what that means is that pretty much for every 10, if a drone swarm attacks 1,000 soldiers, only 100 of them will survive. Fewer than 100 will survive. But you know, they say 92%, 8%. So eight, 8 of 100, 8 out of every 100 will survive. That means that 92 out of every 100 soldiers attacked by drones will die. That has to be scary. That has to be scary. You have to imagine we have soldiers in Iraq. When we had soldiers in Iraq, imagine if there had been drone swarms. What it does is it makes, well, every soldier, any superpower, well, we just saw that in Russia, any superpower is vulnerable to attack by drones, by cheap drones from some minor power. All they have to do is get them into the country, and well, they don't even have to do that, right? They can assemble them in the country. Just get the parts into the country or get them here. And you have to remember that, well, are we going to be in a situation just like we have with, well, if somebody sets off a bomb and then you see if anybody bought, to try to find them, you can make bombs out of, I'm not going to obviously, you know, provide instructions, but which I don't know myself anyhow. But how well, actually, I do know some ways to. I was a crazy kid and I experimented with you know, homemade explosives, and you can with household chemical fertilizer bombs. So they will see how many people have bought. Has anybody made any large purchases of fertilizer? And a way around that, by the way, would be just to you know, buy a lot of fertilizer in small quantities, little by little. But how many do we have to see now how many people have bought drones? How many people have bought the parts to assemble drones? It is really, really scary. And as I said earlier, I am really shocked that we are not talking more about this. This is really, really serious. And well, no happy thoughts for today. Thanks for stopping by. Happy to hear your thoughts, happy or otherwise, in the comments section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would could benefit from it. Ideally, your Congress people, your Congress critters, and most of all, come back and see me again. Oh, did I say subscribe? If you could subscribe, that would really be great. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.